welcome to the latest edition of Late Limbs, still the only known about podcast dedicated to what is going on CM 0102, in particular the Super League, as well as just sending out a weekly friendly hello, how are you doing, to one and all, checking in to make sure you're okay. Me and my co-host are feeling the strain of life at the moment, and we are very tired. So thankfully we have a guest on, a first official guest of Late Limbs, and it is the man who helped us pilot the whole thing. We have the Stackington boss Ross with us this evening as well. We're going to be following the usual protocols. There will be talk about what's going on. There'll be talk about Super League, and then we're going quiz for quiz with our guest, as he has one for us and we have one for him. But let's say hello to the man behind the limbs himself first. Good evening, El Smutto.
Afternoon, good evening, hello, how are we? I don't know how you're moaning about being tired, considering you've had an afternoon nap, you little dick. I'm still not over it. I'm fuming. How dare you complain about being tired when you've got the time for an afternoon nap?
But what you've got to remember is everything you're going through, I've already done. Many of our listeners and viewers have already done. It's not our fault you're doing it when you're all old and past it.
Yeah, I really did not think that one through. That's one of the few downsides to having a much younger wife. Yeah,
indeed. How's things? What's new? Obviously, one whole week of employment done.
Yes, yeah, back indoors, back in the office, back in some semblance of normality after spending a year, 18 months, whatever it was, working from home. I mean, it's really dug into my champ manager time. It really has. It's really not fun. Having to be a grown up, I don't like it.
So aside from that, that's obviously your big news this week. What else has been going on?
The house is absolutely riddled with germs at the minute. Absolutely riddled. I long for another quarantine where, because these little shits are going to school and seeing other kids and what have you, it's just infested every single day. Come back with some sort of new ailment. I'm pretty sure the plague was one of them this week. Just everything I own is covered in snot. It's vile. It's disgusting. And I'm out about in suits again, which I hate in the first place. But now my suits are covered in snot as well. What sort of impression am I making in front of customers when I'm rocking up? I look like a snail sneezed on me. It's grim. But yeah, the kids are fine, I suppose. The dickheads. But what about you? I always forget to ask because I don't really care. But I always forget to ask. How have you been? Great, that's really good. Anyway, more about me.
I've been a bit sore this week. I've been doing extra training and stuff, and it's just been taking its toll. My body isn't as young as it used to be, and been having a bit of backache, a bit of shoulder ache, but all in all, not too bad.
So not only are you going to complain about being tired in front of me with two kids under 2, you're going to complain about being sore in front of Ross, who has been shorn of his manhood in the last 24 hours as well.
Yes. Well, he's an inspiration because you're copying him, and we'll be discussing that shortly to get all the gory details, I'm sure.
See, that was supposed to be a seamless transition there, Fyfie, into getting our guest on.
It was, but I hadn't even finished talking yet. You're trying to speed through this. It's as if you want to not be here or you want to go to bed. Yeah.
No, not at all, mate. I'm desperate to find out what the quizzy rascal himself has got to say. That's why I want to get him on.
I know how this works. It's been the same since we met each other. It's a very give and take relationship. I give, you take.
Yeah, I'm the main player. You're the NPC.
Yeah, if you like. Just remember, I'm the one with the international social media following, and you're some guy that's on a Leicester City forum and a Champ Manager forum.
Very much, mate. Very much. I'm the sidekick to your
No, don't sweet talk me now. I know you don't want to talk to me. You want to talk to Ross, so let's do it. Let's bring him on. Good evening.
I want to hear about balls.
Good evening to you both. How are you?
Very well, mate. How are you doing?
Yes, surprisingly well, considering the less than 24 hours ago I had a gentleman cut my testicles.
And did he? Was he gentle? Was he generous in how he went through it?
Yes.
And I want. This is an opportunity. This section of the show is the opportunity for real, authentic. All the truth. But I also want to scare the shit out of my co-host.
All I'm thinking here is, please be gentle.
I was going to say, I can see Smuts wincing there just at the thought of
I'm physically crossing my legs.
So talk us without going too much into the personal details. Talk us through what your experience.
It genuinely wasn't too bad. The worst bit is the little injection beforehand. You have to have one in both nut, shall we put it? Yes, and that was the worst bit. Once you've been injected with the anaesthetic, they can do whatever they want down there, and I couldn't feel a thing. The hardest bit was trying to get off the bed afterwards. Once you've had it done, the big high bed that they put you on was for me, who's only short, was hard to jump off.
You see, the hardest bit for me is not getting an erection.
Well, good luck with that.
I literally got a letter through
questions.
What about his vasectomy?
Yeah.
No, not really. No, I don't want to ask any questions because it will scare me even more.
Well, I'm going to ask because this has actually come up at work recently with one or two people and that have had this same sort of procedure done, and I'm intrigued to see how your experience match up. So, it was described to me as kind of burning sensation down there, as if they were sort of soldering. Is that still the case in a more modern procedure?
No, I don't think so. I think they did used to burn it, didn't they, to try and seal the tubes off. Now they just cut it, fold it over and twist it or something. I don't know. So
it burns down there for me every day.
There was no soldering irons or Bunsen burners in sight, thankfully.
Are they still giving the medical advice to remain inactive for 4 to 7 days?
Yes. Yeah.
And if you haven't seen the infamous clip of the 2 Pints podcast with Paddy McGuinness as well, where they're discussing this, I would very much heed that advice. Otherwise, you could end up in a bit of an inflamed situation.
I only vaguely know what you're talking about, but when you said,
I think I showed you this clip.
I think you did show me the clip, and I'm sure the word space hopper was involved, and I remember remarking that's just an average day in Steve Wright's life.
But yeah, you're looking quite chirpy this evening, mate. So no. What's the right way of saying it? No ill effects afterwards. I imagine you've still got a slight bit of discomfort, but other than that,
a slight ache, shall we say? But other than that, golden.
Excellent.
See, you're not milking this even half as much as I will be. Honestly,
I did get breakfast cooked for me this morning, which was ideal.
Please tell me it was sausage.
It was sausages. It was.
Sensational stuff. Absolutely sensational. Quality banter in your house.
That was deliberate as well.
Yeah.
It was only a chipolata though, so maybe
it's very, very deliberate.
Dear me. So operations aside, obviously this is your second technical appearance on Late Limbs. First, since we give it a name, you were on the pilot episode. What's going on in your life?
Nothing really. Nothing exciting. Work. Not much play, and then now a little bit of rest. But nothing. Not like you guys that get to have a social life and get to go and watch football and whatever else you do.
Well, you say that.
I'm going to say I play more football than I watch nowadays. Football ended for me in about 2017 after Leicester's Champions League run.
After you became a viral sensation in that picture.
Oh, that was years. That was the year we got relegated. That would have been 2007, 2008 when we got relegated. Jesus. Yeah, no. I still have people come up to me
Is this
anytime
you?
I'm near and say, "Smuts, oh, you look dead sad in that photo." Every single year that Leicester do something. Finally, when we got, I was actually happy when Leicester got relegated last season, because now when you Google Leicester relegated, the
Your
first
face
Google
doesn't
image,
pop up.
it's not the first fucking image anymore, because there's more recent relegation photos. But for the last 15 years, whatever it is, image number one on Google image search was my fucking face. If you search for Leicester relegated.
See, this is how you know that we don't put much thought into pre-planning this, because if we were any sort of podcast worth its salt, I would have that picture ready. Yeah.
And now we have to fill for time while you're googling that picture.
Not at all. Not at all. I'm not currently googling it, looking for that picture at all. You were saying about you play more football these days. You've got a Sands game coming up.
I do. Yeah, I should be trekking across Leicestershire to your backyard tomorrow. Second game of the season for me. We've only got the bare 11 as well, so I know already that I've got the full 90 to go. It's for a cup as well. It's effectively the two Leicester-based, or the two Sands teams based in Leicester that are left playing each other. So there's always a cup on the line. And
yeah,
we lost on penalties last time. I don't know. You might have even been at that. Did you? You videoed me scoring my penalty in that shootout.
Oh yes, I did.
That was probably the first game of my Sands game that you went to, in fact.
Yes, it was.
And yeah, we got really close. Missed an absolute sitter. I didn't, but one of my teammates missed an absolute sitter in the last minute of the game to really ruin the late limbs vibe. Went to penalties. They scored, I think, 4 of their 5, and only me and one other guy scored. Hey, look, there's me.
By the way, that's taken me a remarkably long time to find that picture while you were talking there.
Because it's no longer on the first fucking screen. Yeah.
No. Do continue.
100% that cardigan was from New Look.
Not far off. I'm pretty sure it was Topshop, to be fair. And that cardigan travelled some distance. No, it's not, because the following year, when we got relegated down to League One, we were in the same league as Cheltenham. Big side of town. So went to Cheltenham, asked for a ticket on the back row. When I got it, it was row H. Oh, fuck's sake, I'm 8 rows from the front here. That's absolutely ridiculous. That was the back row.
Yep.
At the Cheltenham ground. Fucking brilliant. Love League One. As a fan of a sort of mildly successful team at that point, hadn't really been to grounds as small as Cheltenham to see Leicester. But there was also a cider festival on at the same day. I was in that exact cardigan, and that cardigan is now covered in sick because I used it to mop my brow, and in a little bush next to a pub that had a cider festival on in Cheltenham on that day. Still made it to the game though.
Die hard fan.
Die hard.
That's it.
Crazy tales we tell ourselves from away games.
That was my until we won the Premier League. That was my favourite season as a Leicester fan. Was going to all of these grounds that I wouldn't have had the chance to. I think I mentioned to Alf as well. I went up to Oldham. I had to get like 14 different trains. One was over.
Considering how well connected Leicester is, it takes fucking multiple trains to get anywhere.
Ridiculous. And in Oldham, one of the pubs is called the Smut Inn. So I made a point of going and getting that. And it's right on the middle of a it's like a well-known pub in Oldham. It's you can't go through Oldham and not see it. I don't know if it's still there. But yeah, great.
If we ever take Late Limbs on a national tour and we go anywhere near sort of Oldham,
we will podcast live from the Smut Inn.
Yeah. So we've. I suppose we should talk some Super League, shouldn't we?
Do we have to, considering the result from last week?
I think we should, because our guest seems to have had a little bit of a resurgence of late.
He has indeed.
So let's. In fact, what I'll do is I'll bring some detail up on the screen. Let's have a look at the league table first. I don't even need to scroll down for you anymore, Ross. There you are in 12th place, 16 points. Just 7 off the dotted line. Are you daring to dream with?
Yes, we are.
10 games to go.
We are in full playoff mode. Here we come.
Here we come. Absolutely. What's been apart from the fact of booting out Iker Casillas? That is
all I needed to do. Get rid of that bad apple and bring in the Irish potato that is Shay Given.
It's changed everything.
It has.
Has he got 2 9s in 2 games as well?
He got man of the match the first game with a 9, I believe, against yourself.
Yes, 2 9s in a row.
Yeah, that's it. So he's played two for me, only conceded one man of the match, and a 9 rating after 2. So
makes a difference, doesn't it, when you keep 11 men on the pitch and the goalkeeper's performing well?
Keeping 11 players on the pitch, that'd have been nice, wouldn't it?
So
my keeper didn't make the 90 minutes either in that game.
Yeah, that was a strange one, though, wasn't it? You don't often get, what happened for the keeper to get injured.
He can't. He's still injured as well, as is Vieira. Cheers for that. Who else is? And Hoffland got sent off. He's back finally.
Well, let's have a look. So we're recording this Saturday night. So the games are being played tomorrow. And Ross, you're double duty this weekend because you're on comms. Let's have a little bit of a preview then. We'll start with you as the guest. Fulchester at home, 12th versus 13th, but could be a massive win for whoever gets it.
I mean, on paper, Fulchester with the players that they've got should steamroll it, but we're in form. And Fulchester are not. We're at home. Whether that makes a difference, some people would say it does, some people won't. But we're confident, and fingers crossed, we do the business. I think I can't remember the league. It might put us level with Sloths if they don't win, or does it put us a point above? I think they had 18. Yeah, 8. Oh, Dudley Hill. Sorry, not Sloths. Dudley Hill.
Yeah, you would go above Stee if
depending on what they do.
Yeah, if they don't win.
Yeah.
And how confident are you given your recent form?
I think I can't see why not. I mean, Fulchester haven't been doing much as of late.
Oh.
So if that continues and our short win streak continues, then yeah, why not?
Obviously, I don't expect you to divulge in case your opposition does watch or listen to this ahead of the game and make decisions. But how are you feeling about the pack?
Yeah, no issues, no problems at all. We've got a full bill of health.
Just for reference, there's the Smuts in. Look at me producing this stuff.
I'm impressed. So that is basically both sides here. As you can sort of see. There, I'm pointing at the screen. You can't see me pointing at the screen, but to the left and to the right is both a main road. So it's bang in the middle of 2 dual carriageways.
If we just look at the results, just sticking with you, Ross. So it was a 1-0 win over Dudley Hill, and then it was the 2-1
Don't need
win
to look
over
at that.
Foss.
Don't need to look at that one.
Obviously, you mentioned Shay Given, but the ability to grind out these points now, is that's what's going to keep you? I mean, you've managed to get yourself a tidy sort of little gap. It's 7 points from bottom, considering a lot of people were suggesting at one point that as the newbie, you might find yourself in 14th. Is that kind of the first target or milestone? Yeah, ticked off.
Definitely,
getting that gap.
Yeah. I knew, obviously, this being my first season and me being the unknown manager as such, you didn't really have nothing to go on. So I can understand why people would say, well, you know, we've got to put in 14th because we've got nothing to go by.
Yeah.
I fully understand that. I think I even put myself at 14th for that very reason. But yeah, to not come bottom is the main aim.
Mm-hmm.
Anything more than that is, you know, the cherry on the cake, really.
Smuts, you've been in this position before.
I was going to say the irony being the two managers below you are. I was just about to check Swanee's little stats fact file that he sent me. I think they might be the two highest number of games managers outside of that top three.
Yeah, I was going to say, you'll have the likes of Mr. Edwards will be high up, but yeah, Jamie and Macker will be in the top 5 or 6 currently active.
Edwards and Campbell are first and second, I'm pretty sure. But I would suggest they would be certainly in the top 5.
Yeah, 100%.
Two below.
So yeah, I was going to say, you were in this position before. Obviously, you'd had some experience kind of in assisting roles and caretaker roles before, Smut. So how impressed have you been, despite all the difficulties that Stackington have faced at times this year, with the current resurgence and their position within the league table at the moment? I mean, they're not really, at this moment in time, they're not considered a threat to the top 6, but they're also not now in danger of bottom.
I mean, 4 games ago, you could have said the same about the Sloths.
Yep.
That they weren't any threat to the top 6, and they're a point behind me and 3 points behind that dotted line. Mm-hmm. Everything changes in Super League like that. It's this tail end of the season where Duggan will tell you this.
I was going to say, I was literally about to say this is roughly the point. Maybe a couple more games, and this is where Sancte hit their stride.
It's where somebody, usually Duggan, in fairness, he looks like he might have peaked too soon. Somebody normally puts a big old run together, and it all starts clicking into place. The big number for Ross there is the conceded.
Yeah,
letting in 30 goals and having your goalkeeper sent off every 5 minutes, you're going to start conceding goals at the start of the season. Have you conceded 1 in the last 2 games? I don't know how many before that, but it looks like that has really stemmed the tide a little bit.
There was a game against, for that one, 5-1 against the Vikings. Then since then, I think we've only 2 against.
So it was 1 against Burn, 2 against Sloths. I can't see 1 against Foss, and then none last time out.
Yeah, so since that Vikings drumming, it's tightened up a lot.
And to be honest, this season, getting absolutely humped by the Vikings is not anything to be ashamed of.
Just looking there, Vikings only conceding 9 in 16 games
it's outrageous, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, Smuts, let's talk about your side then. Your run of home games comes to an end. You travel to Exiles, who, of course, have come off the back themselves of that 4-0 win away at LSK. So possibly not ideal timing for them, but this is a big game. I mean, I mentioned that Ross's game was 12th versus 13th. Your 8th travelling to 9th. So although there will still be 9 games left at the end of this, it's a big sort of 6-pointer in terms of the chasing pack.
Yeah, definitely. There's 3 teams at the minute I don't want to be playing. Ross is stacking to being one of them. Ouse Sloths being another, and the resurgent and just absolutely lethal looking Exiles at the minute. That front three is just it's everyone's 2002 wet dream. That front three. I think you said something similar on comms
I did
as well. It's absolutely vile looking, and I'm gonna. I might need to have a think. I have already sort of submitted my team to you earlier by saying I just get screen up while we're waiting for Ross. I'll put in a lineup, and I think now I've remembered he's got 3 DMs and 3 disgusting strikers. I might have to have a think and do something a little bit different, maybe. I just it could be an absolute bloodbath, or it could be that it all falls on his face. But who knows? I'm away from home. I'm not expecting anything.
Obviously, I said how important your game is for the chasing pack. You look at the fixtures for tomorrow night and Haggis Sancte, that there's a little bit of a gap already between those just inside the dotted line and those just outside. So the fact that one of you two are going to drop points, at least one of you two will drop points, and at least one of Sancte and Haggis are going to drop points, it should just start to see it tighten up again.
Potentially all 4 of us drop points, and then it gets even tighter.
Well, technically, nothing changes if you all drop points, apart from the other teams that aren't involved in that equation.
Yeah, the likes of Stanley against Dudley Hill. The form stays in. Mike's probably expecting a result there. Again, East Coast will beat Los Santos just because Jamie can't buy a win for love nor money at the minute. So yeah, it is those teams in and around that would benefit.
And on the flip side of that argument, Ross, how tasty does that Vikings versus Burn game look?
I was literally just looking at that and thinking that is going to be. It's going to go either. It's either going to be a 0-0, 1-1, or a 4-3, 5-4 type of game.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And I wouldn't want to call it. I really don't know. I think in the predictions to Swan, I
think I put Desmond in. Yeah.
I think I might have done a Viking win.
The big news, obviously, which we all know about, and Jens will know, so I'm okay kind of looking at it. We know that Roy Keane is missing for it as well.
Yeah, so that might be a big factor for. I mean, I don't know who Edwards has got to bring in to replace Keane.
Well, Takanadi's not there anymore, that's for sure.
No, exactly. He's not got.
Might be Marco Raymer. I think is his fullback.
I imagine it'll be Drozdov. That's normally who gets brought in.
That's his sort of. He can rely on him, can't he? Potentially.
No, absolutely. And again, no spoilers, but there's only one team really between game weeks who have been hampered by a significant injury, and it is in one of those games that we've spoken about. So when the teams get announced, there will be a key player missing, which is interesting because I said to you off camera, didn't I, Smuts, that the last game week that we've just had, every team seemed to be missing players for that one. I think there was only possibly Mike, I think, was the only person, or Dimble was the only person not missing anybody.
Definitely Mike. It was definitely Mike because he played me.
And you were missing like 4.
I had everyone out. Yeah. In fairness to Mike, he had his own struggles with injuries.
Oh, he had them early, didn't he?
He was lucky. I say lucky. He'd got them out of the way early. I thought I'd got rid of mine with the Raquelme 3 months. I thought that hoodoo would clear me out. But
and then you played Stackington.
Not. Yeah, apparently not.
Ross went mad.
Called it
Hackington.
Yeah, like to be fair, again, you can't really begrudge that because of the Casillas horror that Ross had at the start of the season.
Yeah. Did he get? I forget. I know it was the first game of the season he got sent off.
So first game. So then he missed game 2, came back for game 3, straight in the team, got sent off again,
and then he got sent off.
Missed game 4,
and then he had a little run where he got young player of the month.
Game week 5 and 6, I think he picked up man of the match in both games.
And
he won young player of the month, then got sent off again.
Crazy.
I mean, I know the sort of story behind the Super League is that, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2, all the goalkeepers are able to throw in a game for you.
Yeah.
But you had some rotten luck.
Yeah, I mean, after getting sent off twice, I still gave him the benefit of the doubt. But third time, I just had to get rid. Even if no one wanted him, I just stuck him in the reserves
You did.
and
You
would have
did.
played his Dragon
Mondragon, yeah.
Mondragon. That's the one. I call him the Dragon.
Mon the Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, with Casillas' history in the Super League, he would have always, I think, 4
He
or
would have
5
always
managers
commanded a
said,
move, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have touched him with a barge pole, just because he seems
Broken.
this particular save, he's broken, clearly. Yeah. But it's not a shock to say that Ian picked him up, yeah.
He's still, I mean, he's still young, isn't he, in the game? So,
Yeah.
Edwards has took him. With possible that in 2, 3, however many seasons time, he's going to come good.
Just flicking through the player stats before we move on. Average ratings, Cafu leading the way. He was out for the last game injured, so Vikings will be hoping he's back. It explains why they're doing so well, Vikings. And you mentioned, Ross, their defensive record. Cafu first, Yen Jeremy's fourth in the average ratings list. So their defensive players are working very hard. Bottom of the table, but Fabian Barthez, unsurprisingly, given what we said about him this season. Northern Burn have got 3 inside the top 10. Patrick Vieira there in 8th. Highest Stackington player.
Probably Kieran Dyer, maybe.
Quite low down the list, isn't it?
Mendia.
There must be one in here somewhere. There he is. Mondragon in 52nd.
What's he played for 4 or 5 games, maybe?
Started 5 and 4 sub appearances.
Subbed on 4 times for red cards.
Well, 3 of them would have been, and I think one I played David Dye.
David Day, yeah.
And he had a 3 at half time, I think, so it pulled him straight off. Not literally, but.
And then Sammy Hippie is your first outfield player, 61st on the list.
Yeah, he's been a consistent feature in the team, first on the team sheet if he's fit.
Interesting that this year, more than any other year, I think, if you're just looking at the top 10, for example, I mean, we can go further and it backs up the point smarts. But Henry, the only offensive player, everyone else is defensive.
Yeah, very much so. And him being the top goal scorer in the league, it's not a surprise to see him up there in 9th. But it is a surprise to see him as the top goal scorer in the league.
So yeah, he's top on 13. Montella second on 10. Vieri on 8. Cliver as well on 8. Do you think Cliver has the form and pedigree to sort of maintain and maybe just slightly increase that form and output and fire you towards the playoffs?
I'd hope so. He's got enough about him in a 1, and I said, I think 2 episodes or so ago, he was a dick's width away from getting dropped for Santa Cruz, because he hadn't scored in 4 or 5 or something silly like that.
Yep.
But I kept the faith, and he scored immediately. So he has got that goal in him that means I've got to keep playing him realistically.
Looking at the assists now, then Ross, Ryan Giggs top on 6, Cafu 5, and then a whole host of players on 4, including both Pires and Veron. Obviously, both Haggis players. Veron's would have been picked up while at Exiles as well. But interesting when you consider how some people are playing. The majority of these players are wide players.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? Like I say, Giggs, Pires. I mean, Steve's playing Cole in the centre, if I remember
central,
right.
Yeah.
But Duff, Beckham, so they've obviously all gone for crossing, I would imagine. You got Zidane in there, who's central. There's a few defensive.
Credit where it's due. Zidane gets a bad rep in the Super League, but he's 13th in the assist league.
Yeah, see, the player I picked up. But to be honest, I think if you scroll down a bit, there'd be quite a lot on 3. Yeah, so by virtue of being joint 12th or whatever he is, he's joint 12th with 14 other players, I think.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Joint 8th, sorry. Joint 8th with fucking a load of other players.
Barthez has had the most man of the match awards with 6. Duff, Giggs, and Cafu on 5. Starting to see the same names appearing now. And then how much attention. Some people love these stats, others aren't fussed. Fulchester's Viale, top of the pass completion, 86%. Sancte Duo, Argyle, and Stam, 85%. Tackles per game, Vieira top 7.6, so clearly a massive miss. Montero
as well.
behind.
Doing a lot of fucking tackling.
Ayala for Stackington in 12th, your highest rated player in that particular metric. One of a few players on 6.3, Ross. Dribbles per game, Zé Roberto in 2nd for Foss Road, 3.8. Cafu leading that particular one. Kesman in 8th for Stackington, part of a couple of players there on 3.2. And then the shots on target, Patrick Kluivert, top of the list, 83%. So it just goes to show if you could create even more chances for him, the likelihood is those numbers would rise. The first Stackington player in this metric is Morientes in 21st. One of 4 players, I believe that is, on 64%. Ross, are you a stats man? Do you like all this stuff, or are you more like a gut feel type of manager?
Yeah, I don't tend to. I like to see it, but I don't tend to take much notice and use it in my selection. I tend to sort of go with form, how they got on last game and such. I'll always look at the previous game and see, did someone get a 6? Maybe I'll bring in so and so and try them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it really.
Okay. Well, that's enough Super League for now, I think. Shall we get quizzical?
Let's get quizzical. Quizzical.
Wonderful
R.I.P.
stuff.
ONJ.
We will start with our guest and a little something you've prepared for both of us, sir.
Yes, hopefully. I mean, we don't necessarily have to do it all. I've got there? 6
nothing else to do on a
different.
Saturday night.
So, I mean, I've started with a nice easy one.
Okay.
Or so I think. But it's easy if you know the answers. We'll just take it from there, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's go for it, mate. Let's go for it.
I mean, it's not necessarily Smuts against Fyfie. You can work together. You can do what you want.
It's always Smuts against Fyfie.
Some of them, obviously, this is against each other because it's a tic-tac-toe. But some of them, you can do it together if you want and just sort of try and work the answer out.
Should we do rocks, paper, scissors for who gets to go first?
We're going to have to ring up rocks to start this one.
Yeah, exactly. Go on, shoot, yeah?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Excellent.
Scissor Sisters, yay!
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Damn it, you go first.
Lovely. So I will start with Arsenal and Liverpool, Yossi Benayoun. I keep going with Yossi Benayoun every single week for no real reason other than the fact that he's played for everyone.
Okay, I will go Spurs and Arsenal, and I will go Sol Campbell.
Like it.
Right, it's going to be the best way of me winning this.
I like that you've adopted the red and blue for us as well. Very nice.
Yes, I thought that was.
I like it. It's classy. Let's go with West Ham and Spurs. A Swindon legend, Neil Razor Ruddock.
Right, so that's me already under pressure.
That's my thinking.
So, I'm going to have to go. I'm going to have to go for Newcastle and Chelsea, aren't I? Newcastle and Chelsea. want to say Wayne Bridge, but I don't think he actually did play for Newcastle. Very infamously, obviously, played for Chelsea.
We can see you looking down at your phone, you cheat.
I'm not even looking at it. My phone's over there.
It's got very competitive very quickly.
Newcastle,
I've got
Chelsea.
one ready to go, by the way.
What, for Newcastle, Chelsea?
Yep.
Terrific. And Ross isn't going to give me hours to work this out like we did the other day. I've got two in mind, but I can't remember if one or both played for Newcastle. I'm thinking either Scott Parker or Duff. Scott Parker seems to fit the bill for Newcastle better, so I'll go Scott Parker.
Correct.
Yes.
I don't really remember him playing for Newcastle, to be fair. I was going to go with Loic Remy.
Okay. Did Duff play for Newcastle?
Yeah.
He did, yeah. That would have worked as well.
Okay.
Right. Let's go with West Ham and Liverpool is what I need to go next to make this one work. And I'm going to go with Rigobert Song.
And then to block that, I need to go Liverpool, Chelsea, so I'll go Fernando Torres.
Go. And then I'm going to win it with West Ham and Newcastle.
Oh, fuck.
Yes.
Not that it mattered.
It lured you into a trap. Right. I need to think of someone who's played for West Ham and Newcastle. And
That's got to be easy.
Scott Parker. Right.
I've got one.
Let's have a little think.
Can we make sure we're putting a timer on him?
No, I want to do this with a little bit of flair.
I've got two.
Just to let you know, Smuts, I've got a list here of players that have played for, and there's well over 10.
Yeah, I can imagine there's quite a few.
I think I've got two.
Let's have a think.
Just make sure you've got that timer ticking.
The pressure has genuinely got to me as well here.
Just because there is a chance that if he fails to get this in a reasonable time, I can win this. Make sure this timer is going. However long you're going to give him, make sure that it is going.
All right, I'm going to put one on now, and you've got 30 seconds.
Fuck. Okay. Shit, dude. Stuart Pearce. Fucking hell. That was so easy. Stuart Pearce.
Damn. That was my second one.
I'll stop the timer. Where are we there? Stuart Pearce.
I would have gone, for reference, I would have gone William Gallas.
William Gallas?
For my Chelsea Tottenham.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to say he didn't play for either of them. What are you on about?
Well done, Smuts. You did well.
Well done, Smuts. Do you want to know some of the players you could have had?
Please.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
So I'll start in for this corner. You could have also had Demba Ba.
Nice.
Jeremy, who also played at Real Madrid.
Oh, I forgot about Jeremy.
Babayaro.
Celestine Babayaro.
We'll go Chelsea, Liverpool, Mo Salah, Joe Cole, Nicholas Anelka, Sterling.
Mo Salah. Do you know what? I could have been here all night and
Glenn
forgot that Mo Salah played for Chelsea. And yet I'm sure Mo Salah played for Chelsea against Swindon.
Fucking hell.
And then Chelsea, Tottenham, you've got Gallas, Glenn Hoddle, Gus
Hobbit's
Boyer,
live editing.
Scott Parker again. He could have filled nearly the whole board. Scott Parker on his own.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm looking at that thinking, Scott, that's where my mind went blank. I was thinking, Scott Parker fits for West Ham and Newcastle.
Yeah, Kudachini and Idaca Johnson. And then for Arsenal, Newcastle, Sol Campbell, who I forget played for Newcastle.
Did he?
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
After Notts, he went from Notts County to Newcastle.
Yeah, it was in his olden days. Joe Willock and Debussy. Is it Matthias Debussy?
Mathieu Debussy.
Yossi Benayouz on there. Oxlade Chamberlain.
Yossi Benayouz.
Polo Torre. Anelka again.
Cola.
And Jermaine Pennant.
Oh, Anelka, of course.
Arsenal, Tottenham, Sol Campbell. Gallas again. David Bentley. And Adebayor. The West
That was
Ham,
one of the early tenables that I tried to pull out of the bag.
Bobby.
Kevin Nolan, Andy Carroll, Les Ferdinand, Nobby Solano, Lee Bowyer, Kieran Dyer, Craig Bellamy.
Plenty there, isn't it? Did Kieran
West
Dyer play for
Ham.
West Ham?
Kieran Dyer did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see that was that. I wasn't 100% sure on that for some reason. I don't know why.
West
So I bottled that one.
Ham could have had Yossi Benayoun again, Mascherano,
Javier Mascherano.
Glenn Johnson, Julian Dix.
Julian
Which
Dix,
would have been fitting. And West Ham Tottenham got Jermaine Defoe, Matty Everton, Sergei Rebrov, Bobby Zamora,
Sergei Rebrov.
Scott Parker again, Robbie Keane, Canute, Carrick,
Scott Parker.
and Teddy Sheringham.
Yeah, now
The only way Scott Parker could have featured more is if you somehow fit Fulham into the grid.
Yeah, he would have been in every square, I think. Would have took
Liverpool out.
If would have put Charlton up there and Fulham there, Scott Parker was in every square. Right, so Smuts takes bragging rights as it stands.
Well done.
Where do you want to go? Where would you want to go next, or should we just work our way along?
Yes, work our way along, mate. Let's work our way along.
So we now have a tenable. Can you see that all right or not?
Yeah. In
Yes,
2003,
perfect, mate.
Roman Abramovich bought Chelsea. Manager Ranieri spent well over 100 million on plenty of players. Can you name 10 of them? Oof. Okay.
So Smuts went first last time and won. Should we let Fyfie go first this time?
Absolutely. I've just said one out loud, so yep, not a problem.
And take it in turns. You've got 3 lives each. If you name a player that's not on the list, you've got 3 lives. So,
by the way, was it really 2003 that Abramovich took over? I thought it was a little bit later than that. He was around a while, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So what I've got a list of the 11 players that Ranieri that cost Chelsea money, because they did have a few frees and loans and whatever else. So I've got a list of the 11 players.
That's right. Money. Did they not sign about 18 players that first year?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, and they, like I said, there was loans, all sorts. So there is a list of 11 to choose from.
I have a feeling in the very early years, I want to say Hernan Crespo.
You're going to say Hernan Crespo?
Please.
He is tenable.
Yes.
I wouldn't have got that one, to be fair.
No.
I said Damien Duff.
That's a great shout.
And that also is tenable.
I wasn't sure if I wasn't sure if you heard me when I said that as well.
No, I wasn't at all. Cool. So if it's the Duff era, it's not by chance the theme of the night. It's not the Scott Parker era as well, is it?
It is.
Yes.
Even after we've said his name 50 times, I still wouldn't have got that. Okay, so I've got a couple of names down here, including Joe Cole.
Oh, that is a great shout.
I think Joe Cole would have been from West Ham. It'd been that.
Are you going to go with Joe Cole?
Yeah, Joe Cole.
Correct.
Lovely.
Claude Makalele?
Excellent shout, Fyfie.
Yes,
that is correct.
Yes. Another one I
got it right now.
What a player he was as well, by the way, Claude Makalele.
Yeah, fantastic player. Wayne Bridge
is tenable.
I've got one more name written down. Yeah, I've got one more name written down, and I'm going to struggle outside of that.
So I'm trying to think back to who we just had in the grid. See, this is the peak champ era of Ranieri signing players off the game as well, isn't it? Now, did he sign Arjen Robben, or would that have been too early? But if we're talking Makaleli was on the list, then surely Jeremy was on the list that year as well. Jeremy, please.
You are going to go Jeremy?
Yes, please.
Correct.
And I'm going to go Arjen Robben as the next name I ever.
You will lose a life there, Smuts, I'm afraid.
Fuming.
Yes.
Yes. I had that name written down, so I would have gone for it even if you'd have said it or not.
I think that might have been the next transfer window.
Right, okay. So clearly we're talking middle of the range players that first summer they had money because he was building the squad. So he must have had another striker. Did Petr Cech come in that first summer? No, he couldn't have done. He wouldn't have come in that quick, surely. Who's already? You said Wayne Bridge. He would have been. He was the one I had written down. Well, not written down, but like planned. Now you said Glenn Johnson in the thing. Would he have been that early? Let's go Glenn Johnson. He's more likely than Petr Cech, I would say.
You are right. With Glenn Johnson, he was part of that first horde of players that came in.
Come on.
So there's only 3 more on the list and 2 more to get.
This is a struggle here. So my thought process is we've not had many defenders yet. So obviously they would have had John Terry.
Yeah.
So they would have only needed a centre back to go with him. Carvalho was brought in later by Mourinho. So
yeah.
And LeBeuf would have already been there. So who was in between? Was there anybody in between?
See, the thing that I'm struggling with when I'm working out the era is Ranieri was there before Abramovich.
Yeah, Ranieri was there in 0102 because he gets sacked every single time.
I could do with you getting this one wrong because I've only got one more name and I'm not sure about it.
I'm going to go with Cech then.
Oh, fuck off!
Unfortunately, not. He was not on this list.
Yes. So, here's my thinking. Oh, wait, or is it the other one? So, I've now got 2, but I can't remember how old one of them would have been at the time. So, my initial thought was Chelsea, out of nowhere, signed Veron. And I'm thinking if Crespo's on the list, Veron might have gone at the same time, with Argentina connection. But then I'm also thinking about John Obi Mikel. But I can't think how old he would have been in 2003 because he was the one that they stole from Man United, wasn't he?
When he was about 14, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's every chance it's both of them, to be fair. But I need to get this one right because if I get it right, I win. So Veron was at Man United in 0102. How many years was he there? And did he go anywhere else or did Chelsea sign him from Man United? I'm going to go Veron because I think Mikel would have only been about 12. Let's go Veron.
Correct.
Yeah, I knew that was right as soon as you fucking said it. Well, you've now won.
Yes.
Because you've got 6 out of the 10. So you beat me already.
So there's
so
2
I'm
names
just
left in the list.
going to wildly guess. I'm going to wildly guess. So I had Christian Panucci in my head for some reason.
No.
But I think he might have already been there. So also thinking it's going to be players a bit further forward. But you see, I've got a feeling they took players from around the British League more than anything, which is why I was aiming for your Duffs, your Coles, your Bridges. But I can't really think of anybody else that they had in that era.
Do you want any clues?
Yeah, go for it, because it's already.
Wait. Only if it's not John Obi Mikel.
It's not John Obi Mikel, no.
So
there's 2 players left on the list. One of them is a striker, and one of them I was classed.
Oh, I know.
As a defensive midfielder.
Yeah. Obviously, Smuts. He would have been your best mate at that time because he was always on the funny stuff, wasn't he? Mutu.
Adrian Mutu.
Yeah, Mutu was one. You think you could get the last one between you?
What was the clue for the last one, sorry?
Defensive midfielder. So
how many did they have? Parker, Jeremy, Makaleli, and they still had another one.
So I was considering Didier Deschamps at that time, but I think that would have been earlier.
What about who was the blonde one that played for Arsenal?
Petit.
No, he was already there, weren't he? On 0102.
Oh, of course he was. Yeah, I couldn't remember which way round he was. Chelsea, Arsenal.
Oh, if I gave you his nationality, I reckon you'd get it straight away.
No, don't give us it that easy yet, then.
I'm having a shocker. Go for it. Whisper it.
Oh, okay. Go on then.
He was Russian, or is Russian.
Oh, Alexei Shmertin.
Yeah. So, 11 players brought in for 173 million, nearly 174 million euros, that is. Not
I'm pleased I got 7 out of the 11.
It's impressive, to be fair.
Yeah, some wild...
Mutu I should have thought of Mutu because my brother's a Chelsea fan and I mocked him for so many years about Mutu coming in, taking drugs and getting sacked.
Some of the players...
Because the irony of it, Mutu was actually a decent finisher and he could have been a really good player if he wasn't taking illegal substances.
I read somewhere, I think it was today or yesterday, didn't Chelsea take him to court for like £16 million or something?
Fucking hell.
But, doing a bit of research for that. Some of the players that Chelsea did bring in after, Shevchenko's, Kesman, Robin, some of the players that had been at Chelsea, it was just unbelievable, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mad. Didn't even think of Kesman or Shevchenko, to be fair.
I think they were a bit later, weren't they?
Yeah, makes sense.
More Marino.
Because this was, I think Crespo was the start, wasn't he, of the all-star strikers coming in, and none of them were any good. And then they brought in a little-known Drogba, who then decided that he was going to be the one that's going to be good. Because Crespo and Shevchenko, they played all right, but they just never they weren't your 20, 25, 30 goal season strikers, while Van Nistelrooy and Henry were still taking the piss out of the Premier League.
I'm surprised Robin wasn't that first season, actually.
Yeah, I don't think it was long after, because, I don't know if that was a January transfer window or a summer transfer window. I don't know.
Well, while you load up the next one, I'll find out for the curious amongst us.
So we're good to go on the next one whenever.
Yeah, go for it, mate. Let's
get
it.
They're all ready. So what we've got here is, I've only done one per page, just to try and keep it easy, is somebody's career path.
Oh, I like these.
So you've got, as you can see there, I've got a missing team that they played for. And then obviously, who is it? Basically, there's 4 of them.
Like that.
And then
that's class.
Let's see how we go with that.
March 2004, by the way.
For Robin. Okay. Fucking, this is a good one, this.
Well, it's French.
Yeah, French, Juve, and Valencia.
I think I've got an idea.
What, who it is, or the team, or both?
The player.
Again, you and Smuts can talk between yourselves.
You,
Really,
you,
there's
ju-
no.
you jump in, mate. I think this is a first
Is it-
first buzzer one.
Is it Trezeguet?
It is not Trezeguet.
Oh,
So
okay.
way too old for Trezeguet.
Well, no, because I was looking at this because I'm sure he was at Juventus, and then obviously he was part of the French team that won the World Cup, so that would have been peak time for him.
I'm thinking someone more along the lines of. I was going to say Jean-Pierre Papin.
No,
It's going to be my guess, but I think he'd been retired by then. Unless this is Deschamps, and that
I don't remember him going to
there is
Valencia
Chelsea.
though. I don't remember him going to Valencia.
This might have stumped me.
You haven't told us a position or anything, have you?
No position, just the years and who they played for. But I would say go with your gut, Smuts. Go with your gut.
It's Deschamps then, Chelsea.
It is Deschamps, yeah.
Oh,
Do you know
brilliant! There you go.
the team?
Is it Chelsea?
It is Chelsea, yeah.
Nice.
So you must have been flapping a little bit then when I mentioned him earlier. Brilliant. Okay, so when I said a minute ago, is it? I think it might be Deschamps. When it was
No.
when he didn't pipe up and say it was, I was like, I haven't got.
I wanted you and Fyfie to talk amongst yourselves, and Fyfie talked you out of it.
Well, I'm instantly looking at this, and I don't know why, but I'm thinking Dida.
The goalkeeper.
Yeah.
It is not Dida, no.
See, I'm thinking more. Is that maybe Emerson, the centre midfielder?
It isn't Emerson, no.
Right, so we know that on 0102 he's playing at Roma, and we know that he's South American, most likely Brazilian. Oh, fuck off, man. Stop it.
It's not Aldair then, is it? No, because he would never have been still going in 2008. No chance.
No.
See, I'm thinking this guy has won European honours as well, because if he played for Roma during that period and then AC Milan when they were dicking the Champions League every year. But what member of the Brazil team would have been at AC Milan? Cafu wasn't still going that long, was he? So it's not him. No, he wasn't at Roma. He wasn't at Roma.
Cafu didn't play for Roma, did he? No.
Who did you say?
Cafu.
And you say he didn't play for Roma?
It is Cafu, yeah. No, you're right, it is, yeah. The answer is Cafu. You're correct.
Do you know the missing team who he played for before Roma?
Cruzeiro.
You're on the right path.
Gremio.
Nice.
No, it is
Corinthians.
Palermo.
Fair play.
Number.
That's absolutely buckled me that I forgot that Cafu played.
We both just sat here like, no, he never played for Roma.
So
That's what, when you said that, I thought, eh?
so stupid.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Okay, this should be quite easy to figure out.
So I think they played for Real Madrid for a few years.
Well, it's not Raul.
Correct.
No. Because I think he just stayed at Madrid forever, and that was it.
No, he went. Didn't he play for Schalke after Real Madrid?
I'm going to say I thought he played it.
Well, he certainly didn't play for Schalke for 5 years.
No.
And he certainly didn't only play for Madrid for 6. Guti?
No.
I'm just thinking out loud at the moment. We're talking someone of that ilk.
What you just said there, you mean 16, not 6.
Oh yeah, shit. Yeah, that says 2015. Is he trying to steer us back to? Oh, where did Ica go after Madrid?
That's what I've just said. Is it Casillas? But
It would be very Ross to have Casillas.
It's definitely Casillas. Yeah,
It is Casillas.
I knew the answer was Casillas, but I
did he go
think
to like Besiktas or something? Was it Besiktas? Did he go somewhere in Turkey? Trabzonspor.
Not a Turkish side, no.
Portuguese, maybe?
Benfica.
Porto or Benfica?
Correct. Porto. He went to Porto.
That's it. My brain's engaged. I'm there.
Mine is not.
Tuned in. So the last one of these.
Right, he's Italian.
That is their career path.
Inter Milan to Juventus to Real Madrid. Back to Juventus. Italian.
Why does my fucking brain not work anymore?
But he's blocked out who he was at in 0102.
Yeah, which is smart. It's not.
See, he's a good player to have gone into Real Juve.
He's one of my all-time favourite players.
I don't know. I know it's not the right answer, but just seeing the amount of references to Real Madrid, my mind keeps flashing back today that Thomas Gravesen was unveiled as a Real Madrid player. Good times.
I think Real Madrid's strangest signing for me was when they bought that Julian Faubert off West Ham. He must have been desperate for a right back and thought, "I know, we'll have him."
See, I'm thinking I should remember a player going to Al Ali because if he's had this career, he is big. I'm trying to think what massive. So Cannavaro. No, I don't remember him playing for Madrid. Who was this? Obviously not Maldini.
You've broken me here, Ross. This is painful.
You boys need to stick with your gut a bit more often. It is Cannavaro.
Is it Cannavaro? So that's Palmer then.
And that is Palmer, correct.
Fucking get me, yes. Yes.
So finally, the 4 answers.
I absolutely peaked at fucking tic-tac-toe.
What connects the 4 answers?
So it's Cannavaro, Casillas, Deschamps.
Cafu and Deschamps.
They've all won the Champions League.
Right.
They've all won the World Cup.
They're all World Cup winning captains.
Come on, Spurs. Whenever you fancy playing.
I've peaked, mate. I've peaked. I won the first round.
The only game you've won is the one where you went first.
This next one, I feel, will be better if you do it together, possibly.
Okay.
Team up. So what you've got here, as you can see, you've got 16 players.
Right.
You need to group
into 4.
You need to end up with 4 groups of 4.
Okay, so I'm instantly saying Taylor, Suker.
So let me know when you're happy with a group, and I'll change the colours.
Is it just clubs or is it internationals as well?
No, there's I don't know how to sort of word it. There's 4 categories, shall I say? You've got to put 4 players into certain categories that match.
So I'm going to go with Matt Upson, Harry Kane, Gary Lineker, and Stuart Taylor.
All right. Okay. So let me just. I'll change their colours.
Yeah.
Let's go. Okay. Stuart Taylor, did you say?
Yeah.
How are you grouping them together?
Gary Lineker
And what?
and Harry Kane.
And Harry Kane.
'Cause
And
they all
what
played for
category would
Leicester.
you put? They all played for Leicester.
Oh, of course, yes. I forgot about Leicester.
I mean, if you feel you want to override it, Fyfie, then speak
No,
up.
I'll keep it for now.
For
The
now.
only issue
Okay.
I have that is Ian Wright, John Hodgson, Davor Suker, and Stuart Taylor again all played for Arsenal.
As did Upson.
Oh yeah, it did. Yeah.
But hear me out. Messi, Mbappe, Suker, and then possibly Harry Kane were like top goal scorers in the world or World Player of the Year, something like that. Robin even could fit into that one.
Do you want me to change? Do you want me to put that into category, or have you not quite worked that one out yet?
No, not worked that one out yet.
I don't like that one at all. I tell you what, I'm going to go with woman beater, Mbappe, Messi, and Gareth Bale all won young Player of the Year, European Young
Say
Player
them again.
of the Year.
So Giggs, Bale,
Messi, and Mbappe.
No, because I'm thinking Robin will be on that list as well.
He was a little bit older when he got good, is my thinking there. And so we got Bale.
Ian Wright, John Hartson, Davor Suker. Who else would fit in that? They all strikers for Arsenal. Harry Kane was in their youth team, I suppose. Tony Thorpe played for Swindon once. He was fucking shit.
He's a bit of a rogue shout, Tony Thorpe, isn't he, amongst that lot?
Did Rico Lewis go on loan to Swindon?
No, I don't even remember who Rico Lewis is.
He's the current left back or
He's
right
a young
back
lad at Man City at the minute.
Yeah.
He's like Kyle Walker's.
Oh yeah, of course.
Protégé.
I'm looking at this list and thinking like olden days, and then Rico Lewis is on there.
I can currently tell you, you've got none right at the minute. So I'm going to clear. Going to clear them.
I would like to try. I'm not sure who the fourth one is. Maybe it's Lineker. Mbappe, Suker, Messi, and Lineker.
I tell you what, Golden Boot winners.
Golden Boot winners
at a World Cup would be Harry Kane.
Harry Kane might be on the list, yeah.
Mbappe
instead of Messi.
Davor Suker was not at
instead of Mbappe.
Euros.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
You are on the right lines. You just need to get. You've got the category right. I'll give you that. You just got to get.
Take Messi out and put Kane in.
No, I would take Suker out and put Kane in.
But we've got more chance of these four all doing it in a Euros, haven't we?
We'll go with Fyfie's answer, and that is one category correct.
Come on.
Yeah, fair.
Don't doubt the Fyfie.
World Cup Golden Boot winners. Messi never actually won it.
No, because he assists everybody, doesn't he? He's too busy doing everything else.
Okay.
So that is one category correct.
Can we go with Upson, Taylor, Thorpe, and Anderson as four of the worst players ever in Premier League history?
Stuart Taylor was pretty decent. And I don't think Tony Thorpe ever played in the Premier League.
I'm sure he must have ventured in there at one point.
He went about a bit, didn't he? But no, that's not quite right.
So can I go with Gareth Bale, Lionel Messi, Arjen Robben, and
whatever category you're going for, it's got to be Giggs, yeah.
As scoring a goal in a Champions League final.
Oh,
do you know what you've got
the category, but not the reason.
Correct. No, you've got the four correct players, but not the right category.
Oh, okay.
So I'll give you it. They're all left-footed.
I'm going to say all left-footed. Yeah, that was my other potential. But then Matt Upson is also left-footed. Oh, bye, Fyfie.
How's he gone?
Yeah.
He's had enough.
So let's then go with Matt Upson, Stuart Taylor, John Hartson, and Ian Wright as Arsenal players.
No, that isn't correct.
Because Davil Sukas, there we go.
I mean, that is correct,
Right.
but that's not what I've got down.
Right, hear me out. And this is where you would peak here, Smuts, because this is the sort of shit you'd remember. Tim Krul, Stuart Taylor, and which two of these players have randomly gone in goal and saved a penalty?
John Hartson would have done. And that might
Matthew
be why-
Upson?
No. Well, maybe. That
Nah,
might be
Ross
Tony
doesn't
Thorpe
look,
from
Ross
Shell.
doesn't look happy.
No, so I was just no, that wasn't right. No,
I tell you what, the ones that
you're on the right lines almost with you Smuts. You said played for Arsenal. That's not the right team, but stick with that sort of theme. Four players
of them all played to the same. Okay.
not
Upson, Hartson, Wright, and one of the others at West Ham?
no, not. You've got 2 out of the 4 right with what you've just said, but the wrong team again.
Where else did Ian Wright play? Crystal Palace? No. He was West Ham, wasn't he?
Yeah, right. He started at Palace, didn't he, in Arsenal? Did he go to Celtic as well?
And Hartson played at Celtic.
Rico Lewis has got to have been on loan somewhere fucking random.
Was he not in the Championship last year?
Was he on loan at Norwich? And then so would Tim Krul
Tim
play for
Krul.
Norwich.
Tony Thorpe must have played for Norwich.
Matty Upson's been everywhere. So I'm going to go with them 4.
That is not right.
Fuck off. I used to like you.
If I give you, I'm gonna.
The thing is,
help
we've
you
only
out.
got 8 players left, so we.
I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you.
No,
Option.
I don't want it. Don't want the clues.
You don't want it, no?
I do. Go on. Fyfie, look away. Go on. Upson, Tim Krul.
I'm gonna give. What colour should we go with? That one. Right. So they're in 2 separate categories.
Okay.
So
And now you
Upson
just
and
gotta
Wright are in
you
different
gotta
categories.
Yeah, you got to get 3 to pair up with Wright and 3 to
I
pair
tell
up.
you what, I've got a plan here, right? Upson, Rico Lewis, Anderson, and then Stuart Taylor got Young Player of the Month in the Premier League.
I mean, they could well have done, but no, that's not what I've got.
That's what I'm guessing at.
Upson, Rico Lewis, Taylor, and Thorpe all played for England youth internationals.
No. Again, that could well be right, but it's not what I've got.
So Matty Upson has scored a goal for
Remember
England.
what I said about so 4 of these players all played for the same team, not at the same time, but they've all played for a certain team.
Well, so Tim Krul's played for Newcastle famously and Norwich, which rules out Ian Wright or Matt Upson, I think. So I don't think it's Norwich. So Rico Lewis, we can only remember him playing for Man City.
So did Stuart Taylor.
Oh, I was going to say Stuart Taylor probably did. Again, they used to be shit. They weren't always good. So again, Man City could easily be a team that Tony Thorpe played for at some point when they were in the lower leagues. But which one of the Upson didn't, and nor did Wright? So it's not Man City. Celtic, I can only put 2 of... Did Ian Wright play for Celtic?
Yeah.
Right, so Wright, Hartson, Taylor possibly. I don't remember Anderson being there.
No, I think Anderson's got to be the one we've got to work out because he's
Well, Anderson's Man United, isn't he?
yeah, and that's
So I'm gonna say he's not in the club one because he didn't play anywhere else where it'd be obvious for some of these others to have rocked up. So his is going to be more to do with international, maybe.
right. Well, Hartson and Wright both play for Celtic.
I think Stuart Taylor might have done as well.
And then Tim Krul must have done as well then. So
Did Krul play for Celtic?
I don't think Stuart Taylor did either.
Oh.
and now I've said it, I'm not convinced John Hartson did.
No, John Hartson definitely did.
Even though I know he definitely did, yeah.
Do you want another help? Do you want his colour? Whether he goes with right or up?
No.
Yeah, go on.
No.
Go on.
No.
Yes, because I think he's with him, right?
No.
Maybe I made this one a bit too hard.
No.
For these two idiots, yeah. Right, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna half cheat here.
No.
Slightly. And just
Did Tim Krul ever play for Leicester?
No. Just see if Rico Lewis went on loan anywhere. He's not.
You're such a cheat. Anderson is either got to be. The only reason he would be there is because of Brazil or because of Man United. There's been no other reason for him to be there.
If I gave you a clue, it might help a little.
No.
No clues yet.
Hang on. My wife is from Luton. So are you. John Hartson played for Luton. Matty Upson played for Luton.
Tony Thorpe must have played for Luton.
Probably played for Luton. So that leaves
Stuart Taylor.
Stuart Taylor never actually played anywhere. So,
but I'm happy to go Upson, Hartson, Thorpe, and Taylor.
Yeah.
So you want to pair them with what colour do you use that one?
Blue, yeah.
And Taylor.
Yeah.
Under the category of all played for Luton, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, that's his thinking.
You've got the category correct.
I told you it's not Stuart Taylor, it's Tim Krul.
I can't remember Tim Krul ever playing for Luton.
He's currently at Luton now.
Oh, is he?
He warms the bench up most weeks at Luton.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that leaves Ian Wright, Rico Lewis, Anderson, and Stuart Taylor in a group.
And do you know what that is?
Youngest.
If I gave you the.
No. Yeah.
It's a lot more simpler than that. It's nothing to do with who they've played for, what nationality they are. It's literally their names. So you've got Taylor, Lewis, Anderson, and Wright are all
darts players.
Darts players. Fuck. They said if Dave Chisnell was in there somewhere, I might have had a chance.
I couldn't think of a player called Chisnell.
Or
I mean,
Brian
I didn't want to put Smith in there.
Yeah, fucking hell, I struggled.
So yeah, we got there in the end.
It's Luton done me there. Absolutely
Luton,
done me.
Yeah, Tony Thorpe was I used to go and watch Luton when I was young, and he was and Upton, to be fair. But yeah, Tim Krul's currently Luton's sub goalie.
Wouldn't have got that.
Would never have known that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he's still there now. So yes, that one bit of a head scratcher.
That's absolutely
like that.
smashed. Yeah, you've absolutely smashed that.
Next
One.
up. So this is very much CM 0102 based.
I like it.
And what I've done, I've paired up 10 pairs against each other.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you a credential or
an attribute.
An attribute, that's the one. Who's got the highest rating? So when you start the game up, I've gone off that rating that they've got from the very start.
And the thing is, it's not going to be like tackling. It's going to be fucking stupid, like determination.
So
Like no one
who
ever
has got the
reads.
highest between Vieira and Davids for tackling?
That's got to be Vieira.
He's got 20s everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd have guessed a Vieira as well.
Vieira
We'll
is,
go-
almost-
Vieira
I
is
was-
right. He's got 19, and Davids has got 16.
Oof.
Next,
Oh,
Nedved
that is clever.
versus
That's a good
Rivaldo
producer.
for pace. Who's got the highest pace?
Ooh.
I reckon Nedved.
I would. Wow. See, my instant reaction was Rivaldo.
Oh, so who's gonna fall on their sword?
I'll back you because I can see it being Nedved.
He's got that long hair that you know.
The thing is,
Bristol-
Rivaldo was aging, but pace was one of the things that he had bizarrely.
He fell on the floor dead quick. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll back you with Nedved, but I've just put on record that my gut said Rivaldo.
I mean, there's only one mark in it. One of them's
Oh.
got 16. One of them's got 17.
There's no way either of them are getting 17 for pace. Go on, we'll go Nedved.
Rivaldo's highest at 17.
For fuck's sake. And you know the database, you prick. Oh, is that
Paolo
that
Maldini.
Roma legend?
Against that guy,
Well,
I think he played for Roma once or twice. And it is
Not slept.
strength. Got the
Oh,
Maldini.
Cafu.
Maldini all day.
No, Maldini only has like one for strength, doesn't he? It's well known.
Yeah, correct. Cafu's 15. Maldini's got 1.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. I don't know if that's a fault in the game or if that's meant to be like that.
That's definitely a fault in the game. There's no way Maldini has one strength. Ooh.
Mark Viduka against Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank for finishing. Who's got the
Viduka's-
highest?
I want
rating?
to say Jimmy's got like 17.
Viduka's got 18 then. Says Viduka.
He seems
down to-
confident, so we'll back him again. But if he gets this wrong, I'm not listening to him in any other round.
Viduka has 15 for finishing.
Oh, fuck.
Hasselbank has 17. Fyfie, you were
You're
bang on.
such a prick. You're
You were
such
bang
a
on.
prick. Do you know what? Just log off, Smuts. Let me do this.
Skulls versus Figo for passing. Who has the highest?
It should
passing?
be Skulls. It should.
Which means it's Figo.
I want to say it's an 18 place 17 won this. I'm not listening to Smuts anymore because he's got 2 wrong now against my better judgment. So I'm going to say Skulls wins 18 over 17.
It's Figo.
Yes! Come on,
And
son.
he has 18. Skulls has 16.
Oh.
Toldo versus Van der Sar for handling.
Toldo's an absolute beast.
I'm going to say he's the better goalkeeper in the game.
And Van der Sar hasn't had his peak yet. He's still young in the game. So I would say Toldo.
On that basis, I'm saying Van der Sar, just because I'm contrary.
One of them's got 18. One of them's got 19.
See, is this going to be one of them things where Van der Sar's randomly got 19, but the reason he's not as good a keeper is because like reflexes are 12 or something?
Van der Sar does have 19 for handling.
Smashing it.
Toldo has 16. That's 18, sorry. Next is Kieran
Brett
Dyer.
Emerton's went up.
Come on,
Whatever
Kieran.
it is, Brett. Whatever it
against
is,
Brett
Emerton's the winner.
Emerton for crossing.
Kieran Dyer versus Brett Emerton for Super League stars.
Yeah,
Crossing's
I've not-
got to be Dyer.
Yeah, it probably is, to be fair. Brett Emerton's not got great crossing.
Good Dyer.
Kieran Dyer has 13.
Oh.
Brett Emerton has 14.
Ugh.
So I didn't think. I know Emerton's was fairly low, but I didn't realise Kieran Dyer was as low as that.
Kieran Dyer should not be that low. Riquelme, whatever it is, Riquelme.
Versus Seedorf for Flair. Not Rick or Charlotte, just Flair.
See, I'm basing this too much off Super League history and not their actual attributes. Because this is the sort of thing. Seedorf is notoriously shit in the Super League, but he's probably got 19 flair.
I think he has got quite high flair, to be fair.
I'm also conscious of the fact that this whole line is red and there's very few on the left-hand side that are red. So at some point, there's got to be
on
one
that basis, it's Riquelme. It's Riquelme.
Are you going Riquelme or Seedorf?
I'll back Riquelme, but I've got a nagging feeling it's Seedorf.
I can tell you, one's got 17, one's got 18.
It's going to be Seedorf. No, we'll back Riquelme.
It is Riquelme. He's got 18.
Yeah. All that flair and he's not fucking playing.
Oh, look, here's another player that we forgot who we played for.
So you've got the main man Cannavaro against Walter Samuel for marking. Who's got the highest marking rate?
Walter is an animal. But Cannavaro's probably in the top 3 centre-backs in the whole game.
So Samuel.
There's a 2-point difference between their ratings.
Shit, is there really?
Cannavaro.
Go on, I'll take Cannavaro.
Using the same logic as there's not many reds on this side.
Samuel who's got the highest rating. 19, Cannavaro 17. And then the final pairing sees Mendieta versus Overmars for decisions.
Overmars, just because he's got no right being in this list at all.
You see, I'm putting it as Mendieta.
There's only 1 point difference between the pair.
Really?
Right, so here's my thinking. Mendieta is the better player. So I would be happy to back you again on Mendieta, even though you've got more wrong than right. However, the fact that Overmars is even in the list says to me that it's Overmars. And let's not forget, 0102 is when he was like peak Arsenal, where he was like their main man supplying.
He was at Barcelona, weren't he?
He's famously at Barcelona on 0102.
Barcelona.
Along with Rivaldo and Kluivert.
Yes, no, he just left Arsenal that year, didn't he? So he'd be going to Barcelona with an enhanced reputation. I'll back you for Mendieta, but I'm telling you it's Overmars.
It's fine. Go with Overmars. I'm happy with Overmars.
Overmars is right. He's got 15. Mendieta's got 14.
I'm good at this. Good at this.
And then
you got 4 right in the middle.
Yeah.
And you didn't even get him right through knowledge. You got him right through being contrary.
Yep.
The last category. This is a bit of a different one. I called it the tower because basically I've given each of you a category. You don't know that category, and what you've got to do is fire players at me, past or present, and if they fit that category, they can go in your tower.
Okay.
Once you've got 5 right, you've got to try and guess your category.
Okay.
Scott Parker.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll start at 1. I don't know who wants to go first.
Smuts can go first as he shouted Scott Parker.
Yeah,
is that going to be your answer?
Yeah, because he's been in every single category so far.
He does fit into your category.
Alan Shearer.
No, Fyfie, he doesn't fit into your category, I'm afraid.
Brilliant. Yossi Benayoun fits in my category.
Yes, he does, actually. I'm just going to put Yossi because I'm not going to try and spell Benayoun.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
No.
Claude McAlane. Start naming the Chelsea midfield again.
Yeah. Hang on. trying to work this out as maybe.
I already know which way I'd be going with that for you.
Which way would that be?
Well, I can't tell you because I'm fucking two behind.
Wayne Bridge Wayne Bridge.
Wayne Bridge does work. He does fit into your category. Maybe your category is too easy.
Well, I mean, his category is either played for West Ham, played for Chelsea, or been an answer in one of these fucking quizzes already. Buffon.
He does not fit into your category.
Literally any fucker in the world at this point. I'm guessing fucking Bianca Jackson next.
Steve Sidwell.
He does.
The fuck is this shit?
Oh, brilliant.
It's going to be something stupid like Premier League winners for you, isn't it?
I've
I was going to say I've got caps for England, but Ben Ayin wouldn't have done. Asamoah Gyan.
He's the Ghanaian player, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He does not fit into this
Oh,
category.
so you qualified his nationality, so maybe that's what I need to think about.
He's the one that played for Sunderland, weren't he?
He is. Asamoah Gyan, baby kid.
No, he doesn't fit into your category.
Okay.
So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to guess here, and I'm going to give you my reasoning here. So, my thought process is players that have played for 2 London clubs, but to at least 2 multiple London clubs. So, Ian
That
Wright.
could literally be fucking hundreds of players.
And that's why Ian Wright is going to be my next answer. Have I got it as well?
Pretty much. It was just players to have played in London, so you could have had loads. But Fyfie equally could have had loads, but he's just not guessed any.
That's fucking
players that have played
shit.
in Manchester.
What would you have gone with next, Fyfe?
Well, I was going down the nationality route because you qualifying that he'd played for Ghana.
Yeah.
So I would have probably gone for Tevez.
He would have worked, yeah.
Because it's players that
played
played
for
in
Manchester.
No, it's just South Americans who have played in
Yeah,
the Premier
see, as soon as I got Tevez, I would have gone Mascherano.
Yeah. Any South American that played in the Prem.
Fuck's sake.
Absolutely smashed that one. So I think that means I win overall.
You redeemed yourself there, Smuts, after the last one.
Fuck. You won the first game, the last game, and I did everything in the middle. That's
it. That's all I needed, mate. Start strong, finish quickly. That's my motto. Love it. So I reckon then, Ross, I really enjoyed that, mate.
That was superb, mate.
Yeah, that's absolutely class. That. So what we
I said to you, Smuts, and I enjoy things like that. Putting things like that together is sort of like my little nerdy sort of breakaway, from reality.
I love that. Well, what we'll do is, because we've been going a while already, is we'll do a couple of quick ones for you. So I've got a load of music questions that Fyfie has been absolutely terrible at. So I think between the two of you, I think you've got a chance of maybe getting at least more than. I think if you can get at least 5, you'd have smashed Fyfie's best total of 3 for the season. So this is again, is this a band or is this not a band? Okay. So based on what I believe is your taste in music, I don't think you'll know any of these off the top of your head. So, but some of them.
I will put it out there. I've got a very similar taste of music to what Fyfie has.
Love it.
Which is a million miles away from your taste of music.
Yeah. So this is also got a theme as well. This has got a sports theme to these bands. So or not a band. So as it's a sports theme.
Kaiser Chiefs are a band.
They are indeed, yeah, but they're not on this list. Oh. Sports team.
No,
That's
there's
the
no one
name you're
calling.
giving me, is it?
There's no one calling just calling themselves sports team. No.
I would agree with you that that's far too. I mean, it's probably so stupid that it is true, but no,
Yeah,
I don't
probably.
think that's a band name.
Yep, no, that is definitely a band name. Sports team. Good band.
Team. Excellent.
Right, this one is pretty much a gimme for CMO 102 fans. All I want for Christmas is a Dukla Prague away kit.
No,
I mean that's so stupid that it's probably going to be true.
no, it's not. It's not because Dr. Prague aren't even real.
Well, I'm going to go with Fyfie and say no, it's not.
You're both correct, and that is an absolute gimme. As again, Stu built an entire team in the Small Horse around Dukla Prague's away kit. If you're, in fact, it might be his current team, but it's a Half Man Half Biscuit song. Is it Half Man Half Biscuit? Yeah, Half Man Half Biscuit song. Dead easy one that one is, but you actually got one correct. Yay! So we've had sports team. How about home team?
See, that's more believable.
Which probably means it won't be. It won't
Correct.
be. Sports team was home team. No, I'm going to go not a band name.
It is a band name, yeah.
Where are these bands from?
Most of them are from America.
Of course we are.
So we've had sports team, we've had home team. What about There's No Iron Team?
See, that one again, I could actually hear being a name.
Yeah,
No.
I would edge towards being a band name.
Okay, we'll go yes.
It is a song by Taking Back Sunday that every emo kid from my era will know.
What is a Taken Back Sunday?
Taking Back Sunday, an emo band from like the early noughties. I can tell you for a fact at least Steve Wright is screaming that his screen and saying
Steve Wright isn't even listening to this.
Steve Wright's buried under a mountain of Magners cans.
Which is also the name of the next band. Buried under a mountain of Magnus cans.
No, they're not actually. Soccer Mummy.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say yes as well.
Yes, it is correct. Total Football.
Is that not like a magazine you used to be able to buy with your paper round money? So I'm going to say no.
It is a song by Parquet Courts. So yes, that was correct. Butthole Surfers.
See, that's the sort of shit you would listen to as well.
Yeah, some weird American grunge emo band.
Not far off.
Shit with their hair funny. Like this and
not far
black
off.
Black makeup.
Correct. Yeah, they are a band, the Butthole Surfers. Golf is on.
There's no way.
It can't be.
There's no way.
It's a fucking good song by Hot Mulligan. So no, it is not a band. So that's another correct.
I don't know what a Hot Mulligan is either.
We're doing well.
We're doing all right.
This is the best you've ever done. The only two you've got wrong so far are sports team and home team. So let's try hockey.
Yes. Hockey. Yeah, why not?
There's a band called Hockey.
Yes,
there is indeed a very good song called Too Fake. So that's another correct.
Much like a lot of these band names.
Do you generally listen to these bands, Smuts, or have you just sort of researched them?
No, I've done no research for this.
They're all bands that you listen to, and
they're all songs that are on playlists of mine. Yeah. Athlete.
I know that one. I've heard that. Didn't they do Wires?
They did, yeah. And Vehicles and Animals.
Go on.
Yeah, that is very decent band, actually.
Wires, yeah. I quite like that song, to be fair.
So yeah, they're actually decent. That was one of the easier ones I tried to throw in for you. Not that I needed to, because you got half of them right.
I don't think Fyfie knew it.
I would have
There's
said
no-
yes, but I wouldn't have known with any confidence.
Pulmonary archery.
Yes.
Yeah,
Do you reckon that's a band?
I reckon
Yeah.
so as well. I feel like I've heard that.
No, it's a song by Alexis on Fire, or Alex is on Fire, depending on how you say it. So I've got you again.
Alex on fire. Your defense is terrified. Alex on fire.
Flowers and Football Tops.
That sounds more like a song than a band.
No, I'm going to say band. It's going to be like a 3 or a 4-piece band with 3 lads in and a female vocalist.
What's the decision between the two of you?
No, I'll back the guest. He
Okay.
gets final say.
You shouldn't have. It's a song by Las Vegas.
I thought the flowers was going to relate to the female, and the football shirts with the lads.
Dad Sports. So we've had Soccer Mummy, now Dad Sports.
My gut feeling on this one is yes.
I'm gonna go with. We went with me last time. I'll go with Fyfie this time.
Correct. That is a band. There we go. 2 left. 6 Directions of Boxing.
See, I'm sure there's a band called like 6 Degrees of something, and that's why I'm maybe thinking no.
Yeah, I'm thinking no. It's just a bit too obscure, but then nothing's too obscure with some of the bands. When you've got,
I mean, anyone who could wear that jumper is definitely listening to some shit unknown bands.
Well, yeah, this is a really shit unknown band. No, it's a song by the Wu-Tang Clan, and everybody's heard of them. So congratulations, you got that correct. And the final one, and this was there's a reason that this was the theme for the list after last weekend's Super Bowl. The band or not a band, American Football.
I would say yes.
American football. So I don't know. I would say no, but I don't.
Okay.
I've got no reasoning to that, just other than it's just odd. But they're all odd.
We'll go with no then, please.
It is indeed a band again, but to be fair, that is the best results at any of these so far. You only got 5 wrong because you got the last one. You only got 5 wrong out of 12. Did I do 15? So you got 2/3 correct. 2/3 correct. That's a good effort. And let's do a tenable as well for you.
See us to the 2-hour mark.
See us to the 2-hour mark, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. So let's present my screen. That one there. So, little one here. If you can see that there. 10 British and Irish PFA Players Player of the Year winners. From the Premier League era.
I guinea pigged this one, so I can't help you with it.
Good. So I've just seen that I can. Yeah, this one's just for you, Ross. This one.
Okay. PFA Players Player of the Year. So let's start with Kevin De Bruyne.
British and Irish.
British and Irish. Sorry. That was... He's not British nor Irish. He looks Irish, to be fair.
He's ginger, so he could very easily be Irish. Yeah.
Michael Owen.
Michael Owen is the first guess that Fyfie had earlier as well. Is incorrect.
I think it's because he won the Ballon d'Or. You do expect him to win.
I think, yeah, player's player, isn't it, rather than the best player.
This could be an entertaining discussion. I'm going to grab a snack while Ross sings.
No problem.
Snap. English and Irish. You've put Irish in there for a reason, then, haven't you? Is there an Irish players on there?
There is at least a couple of Irish players in there,
yeah. Robbie Keane
was also a guess that Fyfie made, and he's also incorrect.
Oh, yeah.
He did. So 2 lives gone already.
Yes, it's gone well so far.
Yeah. So you got to think of Owen was along the right lines as big name, or English especially, players in the Premier League era.
You'd have thought Beckham.
You're really struggling here, mate. 3 from 3 incorrect.
Are they just like players? Are they just picking out?
If you think about who would be the best player,
Rooney.
there we go. We've got one. We're cooking with gas now.
That's it.
Hang on. Got one. We're getting there.
I mean, you could say loads of names, and half of them won't be on there, will they?
Yeah, there's only 10.
I'm going to help you here.
Go for it.
The title says British and Irish. There's only, if I remember correctly, one Irish player on the list.
There's 2, but one you'll really struggle with. 9 are really, really obvious, and the 10th one, in fairness, was one of the first ones I got.
Sticking to the Irish players that I think of straight away would be the likes of Ian Hart, obviously Roy Keane. Who else have we got?
You're such a man after my own heart, Ross.
I mean, Ian Hart's probably a good shout.
As being the best player across
Of the season.
So I think these normally get awarded to people who are either playing for the champions or like top goal scorer or top assist maker.
So Roy Keane would be there. Let's go Roy Keane. Why not?
Roy Keane is correct. That is your Irish one. So I would steer clear of Ireland now.
Although there is another Irish in there, but you think I'd struggle.
There is, unless you can remember the best player.
Is it way back?
94-ish. Probably. It might even be before that. Might have been.
I mean, I'm not going to guess it, but I'd like Steve Staunton or someone like that, maybe.
Gillespie.
Steve Staunton is very close. It would have been his defensive partner at both club and country.
Not Paul McGrath.
It's Paul McGrath.
Oh, yeah. There we are.
Well done.
Yeah.
So that's Ireland completed.
That's Ireland done. So, can you think of any Welsh players who were particularly influential in the Premier League? Let's knock out the minor countries.
You would say Ryan Giggs is Welsh and influential.
Yes. Would say that.
Is there any other Welsh on there?
You would also say that he shags his brother's wife.
Brother's wife, yeah.
You said the county ground the other week.
He was also at the county court the other week as well. I'd imagine.
So your first correct answer was Wayne Rooney. Now he's the sort of player that would be on there because he's a goal scorer. Can you think of any other sort of English or Irish goal scorers that might be on the list? particularly English goal scorers.
Harry Kane. But then is he too obvious? And
No, obvious is what you want for this list.
Maybe not as obvious as Harry Kane, because that's incorrect, and I don't want to lose all of your lives this early.
right, so we're gonna. What about? I don't think Fowler. Ian Wright.
Do you think more obvious as a goal scorer? Maybe the best goal scorer in the Premier League ever.
What? That's British.
Yes.
Like Harry Kane is kind of like a regen of
yeah.
Only the Premier League's top goal scorer.
At least you remembered that Wayne Rooney scored a lot of goals.
Yes, I did.
In Fyfie's first go at the top 10 goal scorers in Premier League history, you forgot Wayne Rooney and Aguero.
I was screaming at my radio, Rooney, when I was listening to that episode.
Okay, let's see if I can point in the direction of someone else.
Any Scottish on there?
No.
Right. Any more Welsh?
There's one more Welshman, and the rest are all English.
I mean, it can only be. Would it be Bale?
It would indeed.
Oh.
Now, if I remember this list, and even I'm starting to struggle now. You're really close now, as you can see. You only got 4 left. So all I would suggest is don't let your focus slip now.
So are we going along the lines of English goal scorers?
So there's 2 English goal scorers along the lines of Fowler, but not Fowler, along the lines of Ian Wright, but not Ian Wright, that you would say are known for scoring goals in that sort of early 90s, mid 90s era.
If I remember one of them correctly, I guessed someone of the same surname, but in a different position.
So that would point me towards maybe Andy Cole.
No.
I'm
going to ignore the lives now, but it's along the lines of it's not a Cole.
I mean, it's not going to be Sheringham.
Yeah, that's correct.
Sheringham. Okay, he's not going to be the name.
That's not the one that you're looking for, but that is correct. Teddy Sheringham.
If you were to think of iconic English footballers, say between the years of 2000 and 2010. Okay, so you're talking that golden generation, supposedly, of England internationals, okay? I said one of them, but it's someone of the same name is what you're looking for.
And they're not related.
They're not related.
And they're English, a goal scorer. And they've got
the goal scorers on the list, it's not who I guessed.
And they've got the same name as somebody else, but they're not related. That's what pointed me towards Andy Cole, thinking it could have been Joe Cole or...
Yeah, exactly.
That's the right train for. The player, I guess, also had a brother who played in the Premier League.
Barely.
When fit and not being racially abused.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're not.
Les Ferdinand?
That's the one.
So I guess Rio.
Talking of racial abuse, there's one of the other answers.
John Terry.
Yeah. And
the last one, just don't let this slip now. Do not let this slip.
Gerrard.
It is indeed, yeah. Yeah, it's a good one.
When I guinea pigged this one, Terry was the last one to get, and I went, "There's no way it's John Terry. It can't possibly be John Terry. No one would have picked John Terry for Players' Player of the Year."
Little did they know.
Well done, Ross.
We got there with a few clues.
Yeah. To be honest, it was one of those that when we did it on a Sporkle quiz, and you could just keep guessing. So when you've got those lives in front of you,
Yeah.
it's a bit more difficult.
Well, I think this has been a tremendous episode. Bumper edition, of course. We hope by the time this goes out in public, you've enjoyed either watching or listening to it. On behalf of Smuts and myself, Ross, we can't thank you enough for coming on and creating a very enjoyable half hour or so's quiz for us as well.
No problem. Like I say, I
superb
thoroughly enjoyed
effort.
it.
And as we're now officially into Sunday morning, I will see you later for the Super League stream.
Yes, that is
fucking hell, yeah.
Correct. I'll better have a look at my pack and get a team in.
Indeed. Until next time, from Deputy Smuts and myself at Late Limbs HQ. Goodbye.
Toodles.